picture for Student of the Month. It will be posted to our district Facebook. Congratulations, Mr. Milo. I thought y'all had more in the village that came in. Come on, Alex. Big cheeses. No, look straight ahead. Here we go. Congratulations. Beautiful. Congratulations. Our next student we would like to highlight is Quentin Jackson. Quentin is a joy to have in class. He's always willing to help. He's very knowledgeable in math and takes pride in always getting the math problems right. He's never lost for words, enjoys talking and dancing like Michael Jackson. He will be missed at Lessinger. We would like to ask Quentin's family to come forward. Sharp today. Look at it. Hey, Quentin. Wonderful family. Okay, village. We love this. And cheese, Quentin, ready? Beautiful, congratulations. Come on, moonwalk, Quentin.
Yeah.
Einstein. Next, we will have a student of the month from Einstein Elementary.
Good evening. All right, I'm ready. My name is Sarah Provenzal. I'm the proud principal of Einstein Elementary School, and we are going to honor two of our fourth graders tonight, starting with Miss Adise Cabetti, if you could come on up. That's yours. And Miss Mills wrote me a whole novel about Adise, so just bear with me as I read. Miss Mills likes me to work. The fourth grader that Miss Mills is nominating for June Student of the Month is Adise Cabetti. Adise has demonstrated outstanding perseverance, integrity, and determination throughout fourth grade. Each morning and afternoon, she comes into the classroom ready to learn and determined to do her best. Adise consistently completes all of her assignments to the best of her ability, earns excellent grades, and turns in her work on time. She approaches every day with enthusiasm and maintains a positive attitude in everything she does. Throughout the school year, Adise has naturally stepped into a leadership role in the classroom. She often helps her classmates by explaining how to solve math problems, completing activities, or working through challenges. She is also quick to encourage and support others when they are having a difficult time, helping them refocus and be successful. Because of her leadership, kindness, and willingness to help others, her classmates respect her and often look at her for guidance. Adise consistently demonstrates effort and determination even when faced with a challenging task. She exemplifies all of the Capturing Kids' Hearts traits by showing respect, courage, kindness, and integrity in her daily actions. She takes ownership for her thoughts, her words, and her actions, and strives to do the right thing even when no one is watching. Adise is accountable for her choices and understands how her actions affect both her and others. She also manages her time and responsibilities well, arriving prepared every day and completing her work with care and responsibility. Most importantly, Adise makes a positive impact on our classroom community. She is a role model to her peers and contributes to creating a supportive and encouraging environment. Adise is a joy to have in class, and Ms. Mills is so grateful to have you as part of her classroom family. Thank you, Adise. And I-
Peace and her family. Love your piece. Yes. So cute.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Miss Whitney. Here you go. Beautiful. Congratulations.
So next I'm going to call up our fourth grade teacher, Miss Marla White, and she is going to announce our next fourth grade student of the month, who is Miss Kaylin Brinkley.
Everyone's wearing pink tonight.
Yeah.
After being away from school since September while bravely battling osteosarcoma, Kaylin returned with a smile on her face and an extremely positive attitude. Every day, she comes in with a bright smile and determination that inspired everyone around her. She was proud of how far she had come, open about her journey, and eager to reconnect with her classmates and teachers. Despite the challenges she faced, she consistently showed remarkable perseverance and inner strength. Her courage, happiness, and willingness to share her experiences made a lasting impact on our classroom community, and we are so proud of her. Kaylin is honestly the strongest girl I know, and I'm so happy she was well enough to finish out the year with us.
Can I just say a couple more things? Like little Miss Kaylin is just the sweetest ball of sunshine that you'll ever like meet in your life. She smiles. Her smile is just like continuous. I don't know that I've ever seen it not on her face. And she struggled through some very difficult things that even grown people like would have a hard time with. And she is just like risen above and come out on it on the other side. And then she gets to ring the bell when?
In August.
In August, she'll be able to ring the bell.
Yeah. Good job,
So-
girl.
Kaylin's family and village. Come on up.
Want me to finish the bell?
Yep, yep.
I remember that. She worked for us.
She's so
Way back, Mom. You're so pretty and pink.
Yes.
The color of the day.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Congratulations, beautiful.
Next, I'm proud to introduce Mr. Adam Carter, Assistant Principal at Key Elementary School.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Again, my name is Adam Carter, Assistant Principal at Key Elementary. It's a pleasure to be here tonight to introduce our students. Before we get started, I just would like to acknowledge and thank all of our board members for a countless amount of hours this year you all have put in to help improve our district and keep things going. So I appreciate you all, and so thank you all for all of your hard work for our district.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our first student is a second grade student by the name of DeKing Sims in Miss Wood class. DeKing, are you here? I don't see DeKing. But so for DeKing, he is a student of the month for showing all of the key core values. Okay, our key core values is an acronym of key pride, positivity, integrity, respect, diversity, and excellence. And so a statement from Ms. Woods. DeKing Sims has shown tremendous perseverance this year in second grade. He works hard even when going gets tough. He is kind to others and always shows his best effort. He is a true leader at Key Elementary and who is always choosing to show integrity. So congratulations again to DeKing Sims of second grade and his family. All right. Up next, we have Leah Brown, a third grader in Miss Ford's class. Leah, come on up.
Go, girl.
And then the cheering you hear, Leah, all of our students are extremely special. But Leah is the daughter of our school board president, Paige Madison. So Leah is extremely proud, and so is Mom. Okay, third grade student. Leah Brown displays exemplary academic achievement and behavior in all that she does. She is a model student who always leads with kindness and is a positive influence in our classroom and school community. Leah is a joy to have as a student and consistently demonstrates the key elementary core values every day. I look forward to seeing what the future holds with such a great student like Leah Brown, and that is from her teacher, Mrs. Ford.
Mrs. Ford, would you like to come up to stand with your student? I saw you there in the back. Would you like to add anything? I know Mr. Carter read the statement. Read it all.
Okay, so again, congratulations to Leah and family. If you all would like to come on up, please do so.
I see my rocket right there. Rocket.
My favorite teacher in the world, Miss Diane Brown. That was my math teacher. Yes, yes. That's my favorite. I still talk to her to this day.
What school was that?
Cadillac. No. It's my favorite.
Beautiful.
Carrie.
I'll call you next week. Hi, Mr. Brown.
At this time, we will have the acting principal of Pepper Elementary, Mr. Janakis Sanders, who's going to come present the Pepper Elementary June Students of the Month.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Mr. Sanders. I'm the interim principal at Pepper Elementary School. I'm going to introduce you to my staff members, outstanding staff members. First one is Ms. Wright. She's a first grade teacher. And second one is Ms. Crenshaw. She is our STEM teacher.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It is my pleasure to nominate Cairo Brown for Student of the Month from Pepper Elementary School. Cairo has exemplified many of the character traits from our class social contract this school year. He is respectful, responsible, a good listener, hard worker, and most importantly, kind. I can still picture him on the first day of school, taking another boy by the hand and showing him where the bathroom was. The other boy had forgotten where it was. The kindergartners don't go down the hall very much. And he was feeling really shy and nervous about it. And Cairo just took him by the hand and led him down to the bathroom, waited outside for him to be done, and took him back to class. I often see him taking it upon himself to help others, classmates and teachers alike. It's just the type of kid he is. Cairo's a dedicated learner, especially when it comes to learning to read. He has worked hard and persevered this school year. It has been a pleasure to watch both his skills and confidence grow. I'm so proud of Cairo and know he will succeed with any challenges that may come his way.
Cairo here.
Well, I know Zoe's here, so Zoe, come up and join me.
That's my bag.
Okay, it is my honor to present and recognize Zoe, a fourth grader from Pepper. She has been an absolute joy to have in both STEM and our science support that I do with the fourth and fifth graders this year. And she brings creativity and genuine excitement to everything that she touches. Whether she's troubleshooting a circuit, designing a habitat diorama, or working through a challenge that isn't going the way she planned, Zoe approaches it with the exact mindset we hope
to build in every young scientist and engineer. She doesn't just complete projects, Zoe inhabits them. It has been a privilege to watch her grow this year, and I can't wait to see what she builds next. Yeah.
So I'm like, yep.
Come on, Village. Right over here. Congratulations. Here comes Zoe. Whoop, whoop. 1, 2, 3. Gorgeous.
Opa.
Up next is Miss Yvonne Hammond from OPA.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Yvonne Taylor. I am the interim principal of OPPA, Oak Park Preparatory Academy, and I'm so happy to greet you all tonight. I have 2 students, and I should say / assistant principal of the 6th grade, because I've had the pleasure of working with our 6th grade, lovely 6th grade students and seeing them grow over the years. And these 2 students are really a great representation of what we want for all of our Blue Knights. So I would love to call up, and I saw one, but I'm going to say our first student, who is Mario Spear. Is Mario Spear, did he make it? No, he didn't make it yet. Okay, Mario Spear. So I'm going to read about Mario. He was supposed to be here, but I didn't see him come in. If the parents come in, I'll maybe come back. But Mario has been selected as June Student of the Month for his outstanding character and dedication to learning. Mario consistently demonstrates kindness and respect towards his classmates, teachers, and staff members. He approaches each day with a positive attitude and a genuine enthusiasm for learning. Always eager to participate and grow academically, his willingness to help others and his commitment to doing his best make him a positive role model within OPPA middle school community. Congratulations to Mario, and this is a well-deserved recognition. So we have his pictures up. We'll show his pictures. This is Mario. And next up, our awesome 6th grade Blue Knight is Gabrielle Irving. So, Gabrielle, come on up so we can talk and show you all. She is a perfect example of what we love. Again, for the Blue Knight. Gabrielle Irving has earned this honor of June Student of the Month for her bright attitude, strong motivation, and commitment to excellence. She consistently strives to succeed and approaches challenges with determination and confidence. Gabrielle is known for going the extra mile to support her friends and assist her teachers, demonstrating both leadership and compassion. Her positive influence, hard work, and dedication make her an outstanding member of the OPPA middle school family. Congratulations, Gabrielle, on this well-deserved, wonderful achievement. Yes, Gabrielle's Village. So we do have the honor of giving Gabrielle, this is your guide. Simon, you want to hold picture? Okay, you want the picture. There you go. You have a lovely certificate as well. Now we're back.
1, 2, and 3. Congratulations.
Next up, we have Dr. Williams, Renita Williams from the Oak Park High School.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Renita Williams, the principal of Oak Park High School, and I have 2 amazing scholars that I'm going to present to you this evening. The first scholar is Jaden Randolph. He is a current 11th grader, but he's class of 2027, so we can officially call him a senior. Okay, Jaden was nominated by his teacher, Miss Benda, who describes him as a great kid and a perfect example of what an Oak Park High School night should be. She shares that Jaden is thoughtful, hardworking, and he consistently demonstrates integrity in all that he does. Jaden is a dedicated student athlete. He's a part of our Oak Park High School Knights football team where he plays center. You're not getting through him. Outside of school and sports, he has a strong interest in animals and reptiles, and his favorite color is blue. Looking ahead, Jaden plans to attend Michigan State after high school, and he is considering a career in either anesthesiology or veterinarian science. Both fields reflect his interest in science and helping others. And Jaden is highly motivated to build a successful future, and he is motivated by the money. Jaden is also he has proud, deep family connections to Oak Park. His mother, 2 uncles, and brothers are all OPHS alumni, making him a part of a very strong Knight legacy. It is with great pride that the Oak Park High School administration recognizes and honors our rising senior, Jaden Randolph, as our Scholar of the Month for June.
Come on, Village.
Yeah, there she go. Hey, hey, Miss Shalon. We graduated together.
The legacy right here. Beautiful. Congratulations.
Okay, and my next Scholar of the Month is a rising sophomore, Miss Autumn Parker. Woo. Come on up, Autumn. Autumn was nominated by her teacher, Mr. Orlando. And Mr. Orlando states that she's an awesome young lady. She has excellent attendance. She puts forth her best effort on every assignment and consistently exceeds expectations. Autumn is polite, kind, and always willing to help other students when they are in need. Autumn has a bright future ahead of herself, and he is proud to have recognized her and her accomplishments in her 9th grade year. Here are a couple fun facts about Autumn. She is, of course, an outstanding OPHS scholar who continues to excel in both inside and outside of the classroom. She earned honor roll recognition for semester 1 with an impressive 3.44 GPA. She is a proud member of the OPHS Marching Legion dance team. In addition to her academic and extracurricular accomplishments, Autumn recently participated in our first mathematics Jeopardy competition. So that was just last week where her team earned 2nd place. While she once considered math to be one of her favorite subjects, she has developed a strong interest in science and history. Autumn describes herself as an explorer who is always looking for new hobbies and experiences, and she enjoys interacting with others, but she also values opportunities where she's learning and growing independently. When asked about her future, Autumn shares that she sees herself becoming either a therapist or an entrepreneur. Although she's still exploring her path, she knows she enjoys challenges and is excited about the possibilities ahead. Autumn is also deeply connected to the Oak Park community. Her father and grandfather are both OPHS alumni, giving her strong family roots and a sense of pride, continuing her family legacy. It is with great pride that the Oak Park High School administration recognizes and honors our 9th grade Knight, Autumn Parker, as Scholar of the Month.
Autumn Village back there. Congratulations. It looks like pretty. So fancy. Again. Thank you. Sissy, over here. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. No, over here.
Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Mario Evans, the principal of Nova Academy. Please give it up.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today, I would like to bring up Alea Wells, my 10th grade student. She's being honored today for her academic transition. She came to us mid-year, and she demonstrated an impressive academic transformation in the school year. At the beginning of the year, she faced challenges with completing her assignments consistently and often allowed distractions to impact her academic performance. Rather than allowing those challenges to define her, Alea made the decision to take ownership of her education and committing herself to growth. Her transformation reflects our core values of accountability. Alea began making intentional choices to separate herself from distractions, focusing on classroom tasks, and completing assignments with great consistency. She showed maturity by recognizing what was getting on the way of her success and taking responsibility and improving. Alea also represented outstanding achievement because her progress is the direct result of effort, perseverance, and strong commitment to learning. And to advocate for herself has helped her grow academically and build confidence in the classroom. Her journey connects also to the vision of the future because her habits will show development will help her support her beyond the school year. Alea growth is not just about completing more assignments, it's about developing discipline, focus, and belief that she can continue to improve. Alea academic transformation is a powerful example of what happens when a student chooses growth over excuses, commitment over distractions. We are proud of the progress she has made and excited to see what she will continue to accomplish. Congratulations to Alea Wells on being selected Student of the Month. Next up, I would like for Daniel Robinson Turner, our 10th grade student, nominated by Ms. Sheep. Daniel Robinson Turner stands here because he represents Nova's identity. Daniel has consistently demonstrated what it means to be respectful and responsible member of our school community. Through his daily actions, positive attitude, and commitment to doing what's right, him becoming a strong example of the values we strive to uphold at Nova. Through the school year, Daniel has represented our school identity with pride and integrity. He treats his peers, teachers, and staff members with kindness and consideration, helping to create a wonderful and supporting learning environment. His respectful demeanor is evident in the way he communicates with others, or sometimes just doesn't communicate, but still, we know he responds to challenges and carries himself both inside and outside the classroom. Daniel also exemplifies a core value of accountability. He consistently follows through with expectations and demonstrates strong commitment to his academic and personal growth, whether completing assignments, participating in class discussion, and that could be counted on doing the right thing and represent Nova in a positive manner. Through his actions, he has shown that he is a student others can look up as a positive example. His dedication to representing Nova values has made a meaningful impact on those around him and others, fostering that culture of respect, responsibility in our school community. We are proud to recognize Daniel for embodying the values of nurturing relationships, vision of the future, and accountability. Through his character and daily actions and commitment of representing the best of Nova makes him highly deserving of this recognition. Congratulations to Daniel on being the Student of the Month.
Aw. Congratulations.
And thank you to all of our families. Oh, you have one more?
Oh. We have one more award to present. I would like Mr. Carter to come up and up front for the presentation.
All right, good afternoon again.
afternoon.
This presentation is for a special person for us, okay? On behalf of all of our schools, staff, and Oak Park students, we want to express our sincerest gratitude and appreciation to you, Mrs. Murphy. You have been an outstanding commander-in-chief. Your leadership, support, and guidance have had a tremendous impact on our entire school community. Throughout your service, you have led with integrity, compassion, and a genuine commitment to the success of every student, staff member, and family in Oak Park. Your dedication to Oak Park schools has not gone unnoticed. The time, energy, and care you have invested in our district have helped shape a stronger community and create opportunities for countless students to succeed. Your influence will be felt for years to come. As a small token of our appreciation, each school has prepared a gift to thank you for your services to Oak Park schools. While these gifts are simple, they represent the deep respect, gratitude, and admiration we have for everything you have done for our students, staff, and community. Thank you for your leadership and your unwavering commitment to Oak Park schools. We are truly grateful.
I knew about it.
Hello, everyone. Again, to our interim superintendent, on behalf of our executive director of climate, culture, and communications, I hope I got that right, and public relations, yes. I just want to, in her absence, express that she wanted to be here to do this as well, but she asked me to say a few words, and I'm delighted to, because you mean a lot to me. So, Ms. Murphy, I can say so much about you. As our interim superintendent, the title is truly fitting because you are a superwoman in every sense of the word. Your cape is well deserved as you successfully balance family, work, and the entire school district with 3,000 students and 289 employees, and you do it with such grace. You do it all while wearing high heels. I can't even imagine that. You are the definition of grace under pressure. I have watched you step into a position that was unexpectedly delegated to you overnight and immediately jump into action. You fit the occasion because day after day, you show up ready to take care of business while wearing a smile on your face and a positive attitude. Whenever someone asks you how you are doing, or I ask you how you are doing, one word says it all. Child, that tells me sometimes it can get overwhelming, but again, you handle it with grace and class. I have visited several buildings throughout the district today, and many staff members wanted to express their appreciation for your leadership and your dedication. They wanted me to convey their gratitude and acknowledge the positive impact you have made in the district in such a short time. Your leadership has not gone unnoticed, and the respect and admiration you have earned is well deserved. I thank you. OPSPA thanks you for your unwavering commitment to our district, our staff, our students, as you are an example of perseverance, resilience, and servant leadership. It inspires those around you and myself every day. With sincere gratitude, I speak on behalf of Lessinger Early Childhood Center and our principal, Mrs. Berry.
Aw, so sweet.
I'm sorry, real quick.
All the hoods, all the hoods.
You forgot Mr.
I'm
Stevens.
sure she want to say something.
Thank you, President.
No problem.
I am in such shock and awe, and I just want to say, y'all gonna make me start crying, but this is a public board meeting. I just want to say thank you to all of the staff and students, to our board president, our trustees for entrusting this opportunity to me to continue to lead and guide the district under your guidance and leadership. Thank you to the staff, my principals, my APs, my executive team, all the family, everybody for your trust in me. Your belief in me to continue to keep this ship rocking. It's been an honor and a privilege, and I often say I don't get to do something. I don't have to do something. I get to do this. So I'm getting choked up, but I just want to say thank you for your love, your trust, your dedication, and this public display of appreciation. I'm gonna record the YouTube video and put it in my Google Drive for the rest of my life. And so I keep going back and watching it. But I thank you to my administrators, to my president, to my trustees, and to all of the staff of the Oak Park, and staff, family, and students of the Oak Park School District. Thank you.
Very deserving. Very deserving. Okay, at this time, we'll take a brief recess so that everyone can get a chance to get going if that's what you choose to do. Congratulations to all of our wonderful students of the month. Job well done. Congratulations on the successful completion, almost, we got till Friday, of the 2025-2026 school year. See you guys later on in the year. Congrats to the village and the parents, including me, for raising such amazing children. And congrats to Ms. Murphy and the rest of the board members for making it through this school year. So thank you. You guys can get going. And the time is now 6:40. We'll begin back at about 6:45. Thank you so much. We are back and we will resume with item number 5, presentations. A, Lagarda Security Services.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just want to tell everyone, Ms. Murphy, thank you so much for the great work that you have done. And we look forward to your leadership as we continue to do what we need to do. Okay. Trustee Webster, President Madison, Trustee Rogers, Tyler. Good evening again. I have LaGuardia Security Company as requested to come and do a presentation. We do have Mr. Jefferson, who is the Director of Operations, Miss Angela Alford, who is the Operations Manager, and Mr. Chris Brown, who is Director of Business and Business Development. So I'm going to turn it over them. So I'm going to turn it over to them so that they can get started. Come on.
Thank you, sir. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us in. And thank you for the introductions. Like as Derek said, I'm Chris Brown. I've been with LaGuardia Security for almost 13 years now. Keenan, our director, has been with us for 16, and Angela, our senior operations manager, has been with us for 15 years. And the two of them combined have extensive security experience in managing school district-wide security programs, very, very similar to Oak Park. As you'll see, we work currently with several different school districts, several charter programs and universities as well. The top portion there highlights our current full-time educational clients. The middle portion there is our part-time, just a portion of our part-time partners that we work with on a temporary basis for events, graduation, athletics, things of that nature. Several of those school districts on the top portion there are very, very similar in many ways to Oak Park schools. And then we also work with a lot of local libraries on a full-time basis, supporting their ongoing educational programs or summer reading programs. Over the years, we've worked with so many different school districts. We've really been able to hone our abilities and the things that we look for in officers, our training programs, which are really the backbone of our security program, along with our operations department. Over the years, so many school districts had a lot of the similar training requirements that we've adapted them as our required training programs for our officers, help streamline our coverage, especially with our cross-trained floater officers. If you saw from the first panel, the school districts that we do that are right here in the metropolitan Detroit area. So we have a large concentration of officers who are not just trained and certified, but also have real world experience working in school districts, working with children of all ages. And when you combine that with the training that we put all of our officers through, it really, really helps make these people's jobs much easier from an operational standpoint. But one of the things that I always make sure I point out is that not only do we provide the training, we provide our own in-house trainers, but one of the most important things that get overlooked, whether it be by a school district, a board, or a company that we work with, is that all of our training is done by an accredited institution and is verifiable. It's one thing that a lot of school districts overlook is they'll require training and then they don't have someone in their compliance actually verify. So with CPR and first aid, with our de-escalation through crisis prevention intervention, every single officer is issued a completion card. That card on the accredited institution's website can easily verify all their training. The date that it was done, the instructor's name, and the attendee themselves. So it's one thing that I always make sure I point out. It's one thing to have an officer show up with a LaGuardia security training certificate,
whereas this, like I said, is done through a verifiable institution. One of the things that we've kind of always built on is our training program, and a couple of other topics that you see there, in addition to the de-escalation that we've added, is our youth interaction protocols and mental health first aid, two very, very important training classes. I recommend it to anyone, not just in the school district. Mental health first aid, we initially picked up with one of our larger clients that has several hospitals and clinics and things. Just basic training on being able to identify what an individual may or may not be going through, whether it's a behavioral health crisis, drug use, or just having a bad day. In addition to that, the interaction, youth interaction, I think is very, very important. We added that with another customer that actually wasn't even a school. And we felt as though it was important enough to add to our repertoire for our officers. All of those are very, very good training courses for our officers. And obviously they get several hours of hands-on training with our operations staff, with our in-house training course. And then one advantage to both our company as well as our clients is that we have an ongoing training schedule for all of our courses, because we have so many officers, not just in school districts, but throughout metropolitan Detroit, that utilize a lot of this training. And what that benefits for us and for our customers is that very, very little downtime, very, very little wait time. If you need a new officer, if you're adding to your security program, if you opt to have an officer replaced, what have you, there's not waiting to get trained individuals in. The RFP for this school district, for example, required that all training be done prior to assignment and go through verification and get Mr. Falk's approval. This will help speed that process up. Just make sure that all of our clients receive highly trained individuals. One of the biggest questions that we always get is, how do we handle a call off? How do we handle someone not showing up? And it's a multi-tiered answer, but basically we have our 24-hour command center that's live manned command center that is tracking all of our officers. In addition to that, we do have an app-based software program that all of our officers are on, that they utilize to call in and out of service. That app is also GPS enabled. It's a geofence, so that there is absolute verification that the officer is on their specific post. It's the geofence is typically a finite, pretty small area, so it's not half a city or anything like that. So we can actually program it to specific school districts and specific schools. But in addition to that, because of the amount of schools that we have in the area, we have a large pool of cross-trained officers that, again, have worked at multiple schools throughout multiple school districts that are always available. Our office is 15 minutes down the street from you, and all of our operations staff are always in the area. We call it in the zone, so that if we do have someone that hasn't shown up for whatever reason, we can send somebody there almost immediately. The post automatically goes open in that eHub Win Teams app, so that our floaters can actually see it in real time, the same time that our director of operations is seeing that post is open, and can click on it and cover that post for us. And that's a big concern for a lot of our customers. School security is something that you don't want to have a lapse in when you're intaking students in the morning, and this is a great tool for us that helps us make sure that we have all of our posts covered. I did talk about our floaters. It's been our longtime policy to always have one cross-trained floater per every 3 to 4 officers that we have assigned. Therefore, we have a large pool, as I said, that is always open and always available to cover those posts when needed. And not just for call-offs, for PTO, and anything that comes along, we can seamlessly fill that post. Another concern that a lot of people have is retention, summer. what do you do? How do you hold on to people? There's a reason I had that one of our many hiring ads up there. If you look at us on our social media, especially Facebook, you'll see two things. You'll see officers getting awards, and you'll see, hey, we're hiring ads. And that's because we are always hiring, and it's not because of turnover. It's because we're one of the most successful companies here in Michigan. We always have new business. We never have an issue keeping our officers working during the summer. Most of our school districts, very, very similar to Oak Park, will have usually about a quarter to maybe as much as a third of their officers sticking with the district for various things over the summer school programs and things like that. Within 4 to 6 weeks before the end of school, our operations team and HR are working on placing our officers who aren't going to be needed during the summer months, to place them at the best spot that they can that's available to them, that fits their needs geographically, financially. It's a big undertaking on our part because we do work with a lot of school districts, but we always have work for them. We do a lot of even just temporary business over the summers. We never have an issue with that. And as a matter of fact, if for whatever reason Oak Park needed us to cover summer school starting tomorrow, we have plenty of officers that are cross-trained that have received all the training that we require. I had mentioned the other thing that you're going to see on our social media. One of the reasons that we are successful, one of the reasons that we have officers that have worked for us for 15 years, 25 years, as you see in the graphic there, is the fact that they're all part of our family. We're a family-oriented, family-operated company. And one of the things that we instituted a long time ago is recognition of our officers. And we rely on our customers to send us feedback via email or what have you. And we nominate all of our officers for awards. And those awards all come with cash bonuses. Something that I don't think many of our competitors really do. And it really helps strengthen the relationship that the officers have, because we want them embedded in our family, and then we want them to be embedded into your community, which is very, very important, because all the school districts that we do are very, very diverse. Every school that we do is different from one another. So we want to make sure that we have the right people in place. And we go through great lengths to make sure that we're not just filling a position, that we're providing each school with an individual that is going to fit their culture, fit the environment that they've been chosen for. And one of the things that we do is we always want to be in touch with initiatives, programs that you have going on, capturing kids' hearts. We've done those initiatives with other school districts. We not only do we support them, but we want to be a part of it, whether it's a button or a lanyard or a shirt. We want our officers to buy into the culture of the school that they're assigned to. And I think that's pretty much it. I didn't want to take too much time, so Keenan and Angela and I are available for any questions that you may have.
Questions?
Go ahead. I'm home.
Trustee Webster, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. It's appreciated. You answered actually a lot of my questions, so I appreciate that. But one question I did have with regards to training is cultural competency and awareness. I love the mental health aspect. I love behavioral health aspect. I'm a mental health professional, so those things are important from my perspective. But something that I didn't hear specifically was training on cultural awareness and competency. Obviously, our district is very diverse, lots of Black and brown little babies. And so we want to make sure that there's a understanding of how to approach our kids.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mr. Miller here, Terry, he is a lifelong trainer, and he has more certifications than I think anybody I've ever known. I can guarantee you if he's not certified in it, he would. It's his life's passion is training. That is not out of the ordinary for one of our, I know When we started with Hamtramck long time ago, we did put officers through a very specific cultural awareness training. Obviously, that has a very specific makeup in Hamtramck. It is something where absolutely, if you have a recommendation of a specific training course or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to present it to Terry when we're putting together our training programs. A lot of times, things like that can be courses like that can be inserted with other, whether it's the youth interaction protocols or the verbal de-escalation, anything like that is usually something that we can work specific training material into.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Trustee Tyler.
Yes, how you doing?
Hi, good.
I am well. I seem like you did your homework. You researched this real good. No, I like it. No, I really like it. When you said capturing kids' hearts, I know that's what we've been doing for years. And so I'm very tough on security. I'm very hard on security because I was once in security for over 15 years.
Oh, wow.
I see you answered a lot of questions. You really did. And my first question is, I see that you all do the crisis prevention intervention there, as well as the mental health. But what do you do the CPI training for special needs kids? Do you all do that for our specialized services kids? It's called CPI. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry, I don't. I'm sure one of our instructors are aware. I'm not sure if it wasn't listed in the RFP as anything that's required, but again, I would imagine that Terry is more than likely experienced in that training. I'm sure he could work it in as well, but no, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with it.
I'm just so amazed how, a lot of security, companies are in the schools and no one is talking about CPI training. Can Falk address what,
Well, no,
He has CPI.
yeah,
Okay.
100%. CPI is one of
But
our
you're talking
required
about-
courses.
Right, I understand that.
But she's referring to what
For
she's
special
referring to
needs.
For special needs.
Yes, it's for specialized services. It's a
Yeah.
particular one for specialized services.
Correct.
I know what I know.
No, we know.
Okay, yeah, I know.
We know. So one of the things, this is the great thing about LaGuardia, and I'm gonna
Okay.
be very honest.
Okay.
They are willing to actually go and work with us on any other trainings that we need. And we actually did discuss the other trainings that really did not fall under their umbrella because they had like 2 pages of trainings that they actually had. And there were some things in there that was not on there that we possibly will need, and that is one of them.
Okay.
But we'll make sure that we find that training and our officers will get it.
Yeah, I think because that's very key for us. We just had a major situation, and with de-escalation with the with the specialized services, and so that's something that we would definitely need because we don't want to continue to have things escalate. I see that you have that. I'm with it, but you still need that other component that I'm looking for, and I'm not hearing it. And I think that's what's really getting me. I'm still not hearing it from the 2 security that has come before us, and so that's one of my main questions. And then the other question you say you use is a system for retention for call-offs. That's been a major issue with the current security company that we have, a major issue that's been throughout the last, I believe, I can say 10 years. It's been major. And so I hear that you have a system in place, but outside of that system, how does it work really within that system? Because I hear that you have a system, but a lot of times we say we have a system and when that system really does not work.
So, like I said, it's actually a multi-tiered system. Number one is our command center, human interaction, humans that are on top of things, that know every single post, what time it starts, what school, what district, what individual school it is, who was assigned there. That's the first step, is the human part, right? Whether it's a call off or someone who flat out doesn't show up. That is the first area of defense. The app is fantastic because it gives us real-time information. When you have a command center, but you have a company that employs roughly 1,000 security officers, there's not enough manpower to keep track of all that. And that's where the app comes in, so that if they are scheduled to be at Pepper Elementary School at 7:45 a.m. and at 7:51 they haven't received the call-in yet, then it starts flooding everybody from our CEO on down, and everybody is all hands on deck getting to site. And like I said, it's going to leave that post open so that one of our cross-trained officers can see that there's an opening. Operations is going to be on their way. It's really a all hands on deck company-wide effort.
Understand. Okay, so then, my other question is, how many officers are we allotted for this? Well, because I didn't see that.
Right now, we're doing 32, we're working on the 33rd one. So we're trying to make sure that we have 2 at the elementaries and at least 1 at Nova. So we're really trying to push really for 3 for Nova, because we have the CASA up in there as well. And then the rest will go to Oak Park High School and then Oak.
So this is a 1-year contract, or how many year contract is this for?
It's 3 and 2. The 3, 1 and 1. So it's 3 and then you have the opportunity to renew it after the 1 year. I mean, after the 3 years.
So 1
So
year.
it's basically a 3-year contract with the option to continue for another year.
Okay, so I see the pay rate in here, for our officers. So is this the pay rate for them, or is that what we're paying?
That is listed under it depends on what sheet you're looking at. The pay rate is listed in the questions. I don't remember what page that
21.
is, but if you're looking at
I'm looking at something that say
if the
25,
pricing
that's all
page
off.
that is blue and
21.
white, then that would be the billable rates.
Oh, this is the billable rates. Okay, so I need to go to what page I'm looking for the officers.
21.
Page 21?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
I think it's okay.
So officers will be 18, leads are 20.
Is that where they're at now? That's where we're
Yes.
paying them now for
Yes.
superintendent?
Yeah, that's correct.
My issue that I have is that, we pay all these third parties and the security is not getting much, but we paying top notch, $25 an hour, and they're not getting as much as, the 18. And so I still have an issue with it. Okay,
Well,
just 1 second. I'm just going to compare. Go ahead. You want to respond to that?
I can't break it down penny for penny for you as far as payroll, taxes, insurances, and things of that nature. But it's a pretty hefty cost, especially on the workers' comp insurance side of things. If you compare it, for example, to your custodial company, if you have a third-party custodial company, their taxes are much, much lower than what you have with a security company. For example, even my health care costs for my company cost as much. Our rate is the exact same as a police department because of the industry that we're in.
Definitely.
So the overhead costs of a security company compared to some of the other services you may use, bus drivers, janitorial, things like that, the overhead cost is much higher from a security standpoint. And then also you have to consider that most, again, I'll use custodial as an example, aren't receiving specialized training and things like that add obviously quite a bit of cost to that. So, and of course, we're all here as for-profit companies as well, but it's compared to the about 1/3 of the makeup of that cost. The vast majority of it is overhead for the payroll, taxes, insurance, training, management, things of that nature.
Thank you. So far, what are we paying our, you said, can you give it to me? What are we paying them
18
now?
and 20 right now.
That's what they getting paid right now?
Mhm.
Except for a few.
So, right, I know just a few getting paid something different. So then we're gonna start them at the same rate again this year?
There's annual pay increases worked into the plan.
That don't make sense to me.
Yep.
But
That's right here.
right, but if we're paying them 18 now and we're getting a new company and we're paying a new company money, I think that's part of my problem that I have. Part of my problem that I'm have, we paying people, but we're not invested in the people that we have. That's the problem I have. If we're paying them $18 now and we started a new company now, I'm gonna say the company that we just looked at the other day, I had some issues with them, but I don't have an issue with them paying the money because they're giving out $18. They're giving more. They're coming in at 19. I got a problem with it, y'all.
Can I? So the other company, we had a little bit of a problem with that company.
Right. Definitely.
With the finances. And so that's one of the reasons why we really needed to bring LaGuardia up here. And this will actually give us an opportunity to get things going. Maybe we can talk to LaGuardia about, increasing, down the road. But right now, the 18 and 20 is based off of trying to keep the pot of money within that realm without going over too far.
I understand what you're saying, but when you come to security, there is no budget. We've been paying out everything else. We've been paying people's salaries. We've been paying for everything. But now we want all of a sudden, and I no disrespect, Superintendent, please, interim. Now we want to save on security. I got a problem. Now, yes, it was a problem with some of the stuff that they had, but I didn't have a problem with the money aspect of it. Because we have to invest, we have to pay. We have to pay our teachers, we have to pay our security. We have administration around here getting paid. Administration been the top heavy. We've been so top heavy for the last 3 years. And no one else has gotten, so you mean to tell me that the teachers are about to get a raise, but we don't give security a raise? And then these are the ones, hold on, sir. And these are the ones that propose to protect and make sure every student go home safe every day. All 3,000 students, all 220 staff members. And then I have a problem with it because that's not fair to them. That we're coming in here saying right now, Falk, as you being the director, you're coming in here saying that we have to save money on security. I got a problem with that. So maybe you need to re-say that or rethink it, but don't come to me saying that we need to save on security. Security don't have a budget.
Okay, so I'm not saying that security is not a top priority at all. Because since I've been here and been over it, I have pushed for security to get an increase. So that's part one. Part two, we can work on, and if you give me a number, I can make it happen with numbers, and you know that. So if you tell me what that budget is, so that I can really know what I'm dealing with, then we can actually get the officers more money. If it's $1 more on each side, we can do that as well. So I have no problem giving them that, but I'm still the person who has a pocket of money that I've been given, and this is what I am supposed to work with.
But if we would have said yes to the other company was paying more. So what's the difference? I think the other company has a little more issues. It wasn't the money issue why I asked for a security company to come. It wasn't the money issue.
No, what ended up happening with the other company is that they didn't follow the RFP correctly, and they didn't have it so that it was 32 people. They only had it where it was like 27. So they put that money, I imagine, over into the officers. So that's going to be a discrepancy within
But then
itself.
you shouldn't have brought, that mean that was on your part. You shouldn't have brought it before us then. Because I got an issue with saying that.
No,
because that's not fair.
That was their misreading of the RFP, because in the RFP, it specifically said 32. They all had the same RFP. So when they came up and they were mentioning the number of people, Tiffany and I realized that we had an issue, and then that's when we went back and talked to them. But we had already said that they were coming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's where we can give them $1, or what number is it that you would think that would be fair as an increase, Trustee Tyler?
I'll send it to my superintendent, but I just don't think that it's fair that we was once going to say they're going to get a raise and they've worked all year and they're not getting a raise. I don't think that's fair to no one. Everyone gets a raise somewhere, and a bonus every 6 months or something. They done worked all year. That's not fair to them. And these people are putting their lives on the line. We just had an incident outside where all on Coolidge, and they out there, they put their lives on the line for us. And I think we should make sure they're compensated. Yeah, right. I mean, that's just not fair. And y'all know security is my passion. It's my heart. I've never in 10 years of me working in security knew of a budget. So when you said that to me, it triggered something in me because as the safety of our kids, that's our number one priority. People are not going to bring their kids to a district that they don't feel safe in, first of all. And then the second piece comes to education. So you have security and education go hand in hand. So we cannot, I just don't feel that it's fair to say we need 32 officers and they're going to still stay at the same $18. I just don't think that's fair.
Okay.
So I'll send it over to the superintendent, or
All
we
right.
may talk about it in closed session.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any more questions
Oh,
from the
yeah.
board?
Okay, wow.
I would add, I appreciate everything that you're saying. I thank you. I wish more people would say that to me, that the pay is not enough, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think security officers should make much more money than they do. One thing I will point out is obviously on the business end of things, you try to price things properly to get a contract, but also pay your officers enough money. And the reason I pulled this screen up is actually we discussed this internally and felt as though the current pay rate was actually spot on for about your area. Out of all the schools, all the educational customers that you see listed on there, only 2 of them, one of which is the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, actually has a higher pay rate than what our proposed rates are to Oak Park. Just to give you guys some context and a little bit of insight, is that your typical security officer, unfortunately, in Michigan is paid between $14 to $16 an hour on average, which that is, I don't have to tell you, if you go to Burger King, you're going to make that much money. And these are people that you're entrusting with, the safety and security of your kids. So I agree with you 100%. If I would like to take you with me everywhere I go and stress that these are people that we're trusting with our kids. But from a business standpoint, I just wanted to make sure that was pointed out to you, that only one school district on that list actually has a higher pay rate than what we're proposing for Oak Park.
Understood.
Okay.
I
So
appreciate
I
it.
think
Thank you
to
for giving
move
me
forward, Mr. Brown and crew, if you would amend or provide us an adjusted pay schedule, with assuming $1 increase, and just give us those numbers so we can compare it to
Yep.
what is currently proposed.
And on the pricing page in the proposal, there are annual
year 1, 2,
increases
and
too,
3.
but I'd be more than
Yeah.
happy to resubmit something for you. Absolutely.
So if you can resubmit a year 1, 2, 3
Yeah.
with the assumption of $1 increase starting this.
Sure,
Okay,
absolutely.
and then move on.
Yeah, I'll have it to you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
All right. So now we will move on to item number 5B, Kimberly R. May, EDS, MASB, Adjunct Specialties Board Retreat and Norms Review. Welcome.
Short people, just that. Good evening, board.
Good evening.
And community. It is a pleasure to be here this evening to share some information or share the work that the board participated in about 2-3 weeks ago. It was actually May 16th, if I'm not mistaken.
Saturday, yes.
A Saturday all day. So I want to make sure we list that. The board, so initially I was contacted by your interim superintendent, Murphy, to do some work with the board around board governance. And so as she and I had a conversation about what was needed from the board, I'm kind of looking back and forth, so I apologize. As we discussed what was needed for the board, we decided that we'd focus on governance goals for the board as well as norms. And so on that Saturday, we did some work on understanding the role of the board. What is board governance? We developed some agreed upon norms. We also developed a shared belief, or talked about our beliefs and came up with a shared belief. And I think most importantly, we were really able to work on some consensus building. So we just did a lot of work around what does it take to be an effective board, right? And also understanding that or realizing that many of the board members are new board members. And so how do we grow together, right? And so with that, I'm here this evening just to present the outcomes from that work. So the shared belief statement is here. And this is a combination. And one of the things that I think I really want to lift or highlight in this space is that as we worked on the shared belief statement, each board member wrote their own belief statement. And then we posted those in one spot in the room and gave each board member the opportunity to look at that, right? And then from there, I took that work and utilized AI to develop one statement. But what was important about that work was everyone that was present that Saturday had the opportunity to see that they all believed in the same things, right? But it was just a matter of the approach to getting there. So everyone maybe had a different path that they wanted to take to get there, but everyone wanted to get to the same thing. And so this is that shared belief statement. And it reads, we believe every student in Oak Park deserves a safe, supportive, and inclusive environment where dedicated educators, unlimited resources, and strong community partnerships work together to ensure each child has every opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed. I don't think anybody can argue with this belief statement, right? And when I say that, not only the board, but community members, when you send your child to school, this is what you want for your child. Yep. The board goals. And so from there, we talked about establishing 3 to 5 goals for the board to work towards. And these goals are all around governance. And so the first goal, and not only, I'm going to pause for a second and just mention, not only are these board goals, but it's also how those goals will be measured, right? So we're not just saying, hey, this is what we're going to do, but how are we going to do that? How are we going to measure that we're doing that? How do we hold ourselves accountable? We're a school system, and in any system that we work in, when you have goals, they have to be measured to determine if we are indeed meeting the goals, and not just meeting the goals, but do we have to do some different work in terms of maybe tweaking those goals, right? Because it sounded good. We thought we could do this, but now we're looking at it and saying, okay, maybe that was a little more than we were ready for, and maybe we need to scale it back a little bit, or maybe we hit this goal so fast, we're ready to do another goal, right? So with that, the first board goal reads, all current sitting board members will complete the CBA 100 series courses by May 31st, 2027. This progress will be reported to the full board quarterly with completion certificates submitted to the board president upon finishing each course. And so to talk a little bit about that, MASB offers CBA courses, which are board courses that help board members learn more and more about board governance. There are courses around data. There are courses around safety and security, just tons of courses, right? And so the series run, I believe, all the way up through the 300s. And so what we agreed upon was that because this was such a new board, each board member would engage in at least completing a 100 series, which is pretty much your basic board governance, right? And so you see how that will be measured. We also wanted to be realistic on the timeline. So some may finish before May 31st, 2027, but we know that we have that time. The CBA courses are about 3 hours long. They can be offered at MASB conferences. They can also be taken online. So you do have some options on that. They can also, where MASB will come in and do those CBA courses with the entire board. Therefore, the board is now hearing the same information together, and then they're talking about how this actually applies to Oak Park, right? So you have some options on how you complete that. The next goal reads, all board members will support board decisions publicly. Once a decision is made by vote or consensus, all members commit to refraining from public contradiction of that decision. The board president will redirect stakeholder concerns to the full board's stated position. So again, understanding that your board president is the voice of the board. That's your one voice, right? But each board member has a vote. It doesn't mean that you all have to vote the same, but once that vote is made, once a decision is made, then you walk as a team of 8. And I say a team of 8 because your superintendent is a part of that team. So you have every opportunity during that discussion period when a motion is made and it is supported to give your position. That even is the opportunity to say, hey, this is going to be my vote and this is why, right? But it's a discussion. Doesn't mean that you're going to all come up and say, okay, yep, you've changed my mind. Now I'm going to vote yes. It may still be that others are voting no, but wherever that vote lands, you walk as a team of 8 in that vote, okay? The next board goal is the board will implement and follow the established agreed upon board norms at the next regular board meeting. The board president will facilitate a brief norms check-in at the close of each meeting. So I will be presenting those norms. That check-in is just simply how are we doing on our norms? Everyone is good. It's a real simple check-in. Your fourth board goal is the board will review student outcome data monthly during regular board meetings as presented by the superintendent via a standing student outcomes dashboard. That student outcomes dashboard is something that you all will develop in conjunction with the superintendent, right? So what does that look like? Does it have to be something massive? Does it have to be something small? My suggestion would be that you start with something small and that the point is that it's on your agenda so that the SUP knows this is what I'm reporting out on, right? The board will ask data-informed questions, which will be documented in official minutes with a comprehensive review at the end of each semester. So this is where you all are putting your hats on as the board in governing and monitoring the progress of the students, right? Because you're putting money behind this. So how are you getting your return on investment with the money that you're investing in the academics for students? And then finally, the board will review and revise bylaws by August 30th, 2026 to ensure shared consensus and clear understanding of board protocols. A bylaws review committee will be established, meeting no fewer than 3 times with recommended revisions presented to the full board for adoption. And this one we may have to tweak a little bit because it's June now, the beginning of June. I was going to say the end of June. I'm rushing it. Sorry. But we may have to tweak the timeline on this one as well as the committee piece of it, because I know that you guys don't currently have standing committees, right?
Correct.
So that may be a piece that we want to revisit or revise, okay? But this is where we stand with the board goals. And I know, Trustee Tyler, you weren't able to be with us on Saturday, so I'm not sure if this is your first time seeing these goals or not.
Yes,
Is it? It is? Okay. And so we also want to give you that space to look at them and see if there's any feedback or questions that you may have. And you may have some now, so I'll pause.
You're fine, right?
Okay.
I'll send them over.
Okay. The norms that we established, pretty simple norms: start meetings on time, ask questions, right? So that you have clarity. That's your superpower as a board member, is to ask questions. One big rule or one big norm is no surprises, meaning no surprises at the board table. If you have some information, don't wait till you get to the board table to spring it on people, right? Have that conversation with your president and your interim superintendent. Nobody wants to be surprised at the board table, no matter what. It doesn't feel good. Then we talked a lot about treat each other respectfully, and we took some time out to define what respect means, because understanding that there's a board culture, there's the culture at your house, there's the culture in your workplace. And so sometimes we use words and we assume everybody knows what those words mean, right? Or we're on the same page with the meaning of those words. But what respect may look like in my home, it may not look like that in your home. And so when we come to the table and say, well, I expect you to respect me, and I'm like, well, I am respecting you because this is what respect looks like in my house. We wanted to take some time to define that at the board table. What does that look like? And so we came up with 3 sub-bullet points for that, which is to address and challenge ideas and not individuals. And sometimes that can be hard because board work is heart work. So if you're not doing at this board table because your heart is in it, then you shouldn't be at that board table, right? But because your heart is in it, that's what makes it sometimes hard to challenge the ideas and not the individuals, right? So we want to make sure that we're not doing that we take a beat, we take a step back. And biggest piece of that is that we're listening to understand and not listening to respond. The other piece we talked about was managing physical expressions. I own this as the presenter and just as a human being, right? I have this eyebrow that just does its own thing, and so it goes up, and I don't mean always for it to go up, right? But I know that, so I have to check myself, and I have to be cognizant of that. And so we talked about what that looks like at the board table and using some tools for that sometimes, right? And then again, the piece of listening for understanding. Was somebody about to say something? No. Okay. So these were our norms, and I believe you guys are going to vote on the norms this evening so that you can start the implementation of those. And from there, our next steps, that the board votes to accept the established board goals and norms and for implementation of each to begin immediately. And with that, I thank you guys again just for the opportunity to work with you all. And I think I need to pause for just a moment because I jumped right in because that's just what I do. But I did not, on record, give any information about myself. So I apologize. So as was shared from our interim superintendent Murphy, my name is Kimberly May. I am an adjunct with MASB, which is the Michigan Association of School Boards. I am also an educator. And I am also a sitting school board member. So I come to you all humbly. This work for me is important because I look at all of the different avenues in which I can have an impact on children. And this work as board members is so important because, as you know, you all set policy. And one of the things that I really stressed in working with the board on that Saturday was that our babies are always watching us. And so when we sit at the table, we have to be cognizant of how we address conflict, how we interact with one another, because as we tell our kids, we have certain expectations for them. You know, we can't have that piece of do what I say and not what I do, right? And so we just had really good conversation on that Saturday. And I thank you all for that. It was very comfortable. It was very honest. And I think that that's a huge piece of it. If we can't have that honest dialogue, then we can't get to the work that needs to be done for our babies. And I have to commend each of you because your passion and your love for the students of Oak Park, for the district in itself, definitely came through on that Saturday. So again, I thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
All right, and that was it for me.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Okay, we will come to item number 7, public participation. Trustee Tyler, can you please read the public comment guidelines for us?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, President.
No problem.
Because of the Oak Park Board of Education value public meetings, not just in public, we welcome comments on school issues.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I skipped something. I apologize, everybody. We are going to item number 6, reports. I apologize, Trustee Tyler. Interim Superintendent, Mrs. Shana Murphy. Thank you, guys. Sorry.
Sorry, thank you, President. Sorry, Trustee Tyler, we're gonna come back. But I just want to make sure I use this time to highlight the wonderful things that are happening in our school district. So first, again, thank you to Ms. May. It was a wonderful Saturday. Thank you to my board for sacrificing that time. Trustee Webster had a whole birthday party to get to. Trustee Tyler was pressing her way but had other obligations. And Trustee Corcoran came after work. It was just a beautiful Saturday, and I appreciate the time, energy, and effort that our board members put in to make sure we're doing the right hard work for the children of the Oak Park and children and staff of the Oak Park School District. So I wanted to say that publicly because it is a labor of love, most certainly. The first part of my presentation, I did just have it up and I closed out of it. I'm so sorry, but I'm starting here at the podium to demonstrate Executive Director North and Jim Nye, who is our Director of Technology, is working so hard on our district website. And one of the things we are excited to announce is the addition of virtual tours on each of our school pages. So they've been working very hard. Director North has been collecting a lot of video footage along with our photographer we've contracted with. And then Jim Nye and Brandy have been working so hard to get this uploaded so that parents who are interested in our district can, if they can't make it out before they apply, they can certainly click on to our school pages. Right now we have Key Elementary, OPA, and the high school. Soft launch. So this is a soft launch. We got some more work to do, but Jim and Brandy are working it out. But I just want to show you really quickly the OPHS virtual tour. And each school will have different areas of the building, inclusive of classrooms, and eventually we'll have student and parent testimonials attached to these school tours that parents can click on. So I'll just show up in there each brief videos. So that's just one example of a virtual tour. Again, parents will be able to click on each school, go to their school landing page and click on the virtual tour over here on the side. Again, at this time, we highlighted Oak Park High School because of our beautiful Hoffman Planetarium, our esports lab. Shout out to Cole Will over at the high school, our winning esports club and team, and then our Mac lab, our just all of these wonderful things that we have available for the children of the Oak Park School District. And again, you can go to school landing pages and click on the side for the virtual tours. So that's the first part of my report. I'm gonna go back to my computer. Continuing with that, board meeting. All right, so shout out to Jim Nye and Brandy North for making sure that our virtual tours are getting uploaded to our website. A couple of thank yous to issue out. So thank you to the Centerline Public Library, in particular Director Wesley Ann Johnson for donating materials to the OPA Media Center. We greatly appreciate the donation and collaboration with our awesome media specialist, Mr. Scott Menterful. Shout out to Einstein. Whoop, whoop. I see an Einstein crew member and an OPA crew member in the audience there. Shout out to Einstein for the Einstein's Got Talent. Oh, another OPA Einstein member there. Einstein Got Talent, hosted by Coach Watson and the Einstein team last Thursday. We had two teachers, Mr. Jeffries and Dr. Giroux, and a staff member, Mr. Schufel, performed during the show. So kids had an opportunity to see their teachers up there on the stage as well. Big round of applause to Miss Fuji and the Key Elementary team for such an amazing spring concert. Whoop-de-whoop. It was such a beautiful concert with their recorders. Amen. Okay. For our children, a big shout out to another OPA staff member, Mrs. Freer, art teacher. She took OPA Spring Art Show idea to the next level this year and coordinated our first annual electives fair. So we always have like science fair, spelling bee, math, all of the things, but they coordinated an electives night over there at OPA, and the children had a chance to showcase all of their talents during electives night, and it was a great success, and it will definitely grow for next year. She rallied every electives teacher, shout out Mr. Mylenick, whoop, whoop, every electives teacher to showcase their craft and highlight student learning through magnificent artwork, displays, performances, sports, and tech demonstrations, and more, and our students and families truly enjoyed the experience. Also, shout out to Lessinger Early Childhood for Dogs with Dads. It was a wonderful, the weather was perfect. All the dads and menfolk and people that had adopted a kid just for the day came out. And it was just a beautiful sight of dads and their sons. Shout out to Trustee Webster's, Mr. Webster, coming to hang with their kiddo over there at Lessinger. And it was just a beautiful day. Weather was perfect. The Top Dog truck was there, ice cream, all of the DJ, people was hustling and sliding all over the place, child. And kids were just the smiles on their faces just to have that time at school with the male figure of their life meant a whole lot. So shout out to Lessinger Early Childhood Principal Berry and Miss Mullen. Graham. And last but certainly not least, we talked about this at the graduation, but shout out to the 2026 Girls Track Division I champions. Coach Brandon Giles and our winning girls track team, they took home the D1 title for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah.
And of the last 11 years, they've ranked at least 9 out of those 11 years, with the last 4 being state champions. So shout out to those girls and our winning track coach, Mr. Brandon Giles. And we just look forward to continuing the amazing things in the Oak Park School District. And that is interim superintendent's report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. We will now move to item number 7, public participation. Trustee Tyler, please read the guidelines for us.
It's my turn now?
Yes.
Thank you. Because the Oak Park Board of Education value public meetings, it's not just in public. We welcome public comments on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process of privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. Public comments of the meeting cannot be used to make public attacks on school board members or school district employees that disrupts the order of the meeting and are totally unrelated to the matters in which members of employment perform his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statement violates the rights of others under the law of defamation of character, may result in legal liability. Most comments can be stated in 3 minutes. The board respectfully asks the comments remain focused on the topics of issues and not directly at any specific person or board member. First up was Ms. Ward.
All right. Hello, Mrs. Ward.
Hello,
Hi, Ms. Ward.
ladies. Good evening to our board members. My name is Sinitra Ward, as you know, and I serve as the Oak Park Association Vice President. And before I even start, I also want to say that OPEA does support our officers with getting an increase. So we back that because we know their job is not an easy one. And it takes a special kind of person to do what they do, show up every day and, stand on the front line. So we appreciate all that they do, and we support them in getting a much well-deserved and needed raise, if at all possible. So as we wrap up this school year, the teachers are inquiring as to when the guidelines for the grading policy will be set. There hasn't really been an update since COVID. And per our contract, this is something that should be reviewed every year. The student code of conduct needs some updating. And we have no attendance policy. And we have no idea how and when the cell phone policy will come into play. The laws have been passed, and we're waiting for Oak Park to put together a policy so that can be implemented. We're looking for all of this to hopefully be done for the start of the new school year. We don't want to wait till the last minute scrambling to, put things in place. And so we're asking, your support and looking into those things so those can be handled. Of course, OPEA is willing to collaborate with the board and do what we need to do on our part so that not only do you know where we're coming from and hear, the voice of the teacher, but wanting to extend that olive branch to work hand in hand. We respectfully ask for some immediate action as it relates to a standardized district-wide cell phone policy that aligns with the state law, as stated before, an updated student code of conduct that restores clear boundaries, and a refined grading policy that upholds high academic standards and a systematic administrative support to combat chronic absenteeism. Not sure if you know, but our attendance policy, our absenteeism, ooh, that's a tongue twister. That rate doesn't look good. I mean, district-wide is okay, but individuals, it's a problem. So I'll just leave it at that. We want everyone to be on the same page, and we're ready to work with you and roll out whatever new initiatives that we can beginning this fall. And last but not least, on another note, the staff at Oak Park Preparatory Academy would like the board and the district leaders to know that Principal Doug Elin is the heart and soul of OPA. We believe in Doug, and his unwavering leadership is the precise reason why so many of us are still here. Many of us are uninterested in facing the future of OPA without him. Bringing him back is about restoring the core identity, stability, and passion for our school community. He champions both his staff and students with a dedication that cannot be replicated. For the future and success of OPA, we urgently advocate for his return to the leadership role where he truly belongs. Please bring him home. The OPPA or OPA staff. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last name is Miss Perry. Perry.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, esteemed board members. Before I get started, I wanted to draw attention to the shirt I'm wearing. It says "Progress is not linear." And I believe that it's relevant to Oak Park Schools as a district, especially as our district strives for continuous improvement in all areas. Having the pleasure of listening to the district's teaching and learning presentations about student assessment performance and strategies to boost proficiency and growth in February, March, and April, I got to see how our instructional staff and school leadership are taking actions towards continuous improvement. Last month, when I was reviewing the meeting dates for this upcoming May, I was excited to see that the MASB board retreat was scheduled for May 21st. I was planning on attending since it was an open meeting, but then I was sick. I was happy to know that our board was also taking steps towards developing their governance skills and your continuous improvement as a board. Over the past school year, you all have dealt with numerous surprises, hurdles, controversies. Each one of these presented you with opportunities for growth and learning as board members. However, not all learning can come from in-the-moment challenges. Being the best board member you can be takes intentionally scheduling learning sessions and collaborating with outside professionals. So I applaud you for taking that opportunity to take those MASB courses, especially those CBA 100 level courses, and continuing to improve that your practice as professionals. As we close out the school year, I hope that each of you take a moment to reflect on all that you have learned in your progress from this past year, knowing that it's not always going to be learning year, as well as identify areas for growth in the coming school years. And as well as how you're going to address the norms that you have stated, just as our fabulous instructional staff is doing. Thank you for your time and dedication to Oak Park Schools.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Next up, Mr. Catula.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I was gonna wear the shirt, but the kids like this one. It's good enough for them. It's good enough for everybody else. I had a number I wanted to give you, and I just came up with a math problem. Number is 9,450. And I came up with a number because in 30 years of teaching, I get 150 kids per semester. That's 300. 15 kids per semester per year coaching. So that's 9,000 teaching, 450 coaching. 30 years. Actually, I've been coaching almost 40 years, back when Derek was running up and down the court. He was pretty good, actually. Yesterday, I got an email that says, we've consulted people. We feel like we no longer need you to coach at Oak Park. Now, I coached here for 25 years. For 25 years, I think I was coach of the year, academic coach of the year, 2 years, We reached the furthest we've ever reached. And then after 6, 7 years, I was asked to reapply for my job. Even though I didn't get the varsity job, for the next 18 years, I coached junior varsity. And I made sure this program always stayed on top. 4 years ago, there was a lady walked out on the court. Parent was upset about something. After they investigated, I did absolutely nothing wrong. Every administrator in the district will tell you there was nothing wrong. However, they did try to look back in months or years or whatever, and they said that I kept the extra kid on the team because I call him a student manager. I've done that previously. A kid played in the NBA, but this one was a special needs kid. He had a knee surgery, and I kept him. Matter of fact, that was the parent who walked on the court. Because before that game, the young man said, "Please, coach, I don't want to play. I just want to win." By the way, we were winning that game, and she walked out on the court and walked off. Every statement she made was untrue. Now, when it was written up, they said I called him, he was a ball boy. But the young man wrote me a letter and said he apologized for his mother. He apologized for everything and appreciated what I've done for him. Those 9,450 kids, you couldn't find one kid that would say anything negative. In that statement that by the way, I was suspended for 5 days, 6, 7 days while they waited to find out. And I think, Ms. Tyler, you were probably doing some of the interviews in those situations. But the 3 individuals that were stated that I had actually admitted to what the comments were never spoken to, never made a comment. One of them was, I'm going to tell you point blank, Kaya Wilson. To this day, she's one of my favorite kids, loves me. I helped her at junior college. But we talked about it. So there was a game I was watching. I wasn't even coaching. Standing behind the coaches, behind everybody. At the end of the game, senior night, she missed a layup at the end. And she went around the bench after they took her out for senior night. She went away from her coaches and came to me because I was her middle school teacher. And I was a person that always supported her. And as she hugged me, I said, "Dummy, you're supposed to have 30. You missed that layup." And she laughed. And we had a great moment together. That's the second part of this letter that's in my file. And then the third one is a couple of months earlier, one of my players who has very big emotional issues, after a game at Clarkston, he was tearing up the locker room. And I hugged him, grabbed him, and I said, "Don't be a girl." I used a different word for it. He calmed down. I saved the situation. To this day, he appreciated me for it. But somehow he told somebody else, and that got into that letter. And by the way, a month earlier, I had spoken up in the library as a union rep against the previous administration. And I had said that they had hurt our culture. This seemed to be an opportunity to kind of, because, when somebody walked on the court and all the administrators are there, Mrs. Peterson, who would come and speak for you, Mr. Greg Cart. By the way, when I was disciplined, none of those people that were there were allowed to come to the discipline. But I thought when they suspend you 5, 6 days and you're a teacher and you're trying to get back and they're going back and forth threatening your job, you sign. And they were supposed to recant and rewrite it in a more positive way, but they didn't. And they were gone and I didn't think nothing of it. New superintendent came, happened to be from the same village I'm from and we're from, a point where we just spoke, "Hey, this is the situation, sir. Can you help me with that?" "Oh, no problem. I got you." 2 years go by, nothing happened. So I kept asking, because I didn't come here. I haven't come here before you. I've been in the school district for 25 years. I think some of your children have. When your kid, I do a bad job with your kid? Do a bad job with your kid?
No, you didn't. No, you
Okay.
didn't.
But my point is, the little Autumn, when she walked out, she loved me. I love her. I love all my kids. Matter of fact, when I got this email the other day, it was very easy to go home and say, "I'm not coming back," because I got 140 sick days. I came back to work. I worked harder. And I had a clinic almost in my gym class. It's been beautiful. And matter of fact, I'm wearing a Warren Lincoln pair of sweatsuits because I've been coaching the last 4 years that they haven't let me coach, even won a state title. But the whole time I celebrated the state title, wasn't no park. Even though they're red and white, it was the wrong red and white. You know, I had a heart attack 2 years ago. I don't know if y'all know, and I appreciate y'all for honoring the people that saved my life. I wasn't here that day. Y'all know that, right? I was at work that day though, because I came to work 2 days after the heart attack, and I would have been here, but I wasn't invited. I don't understand why, but might be. I don't know. My point is, for 4 years, I waited for an answer. I asked, and the gentleman, our previous superintendent, did come to the hospital, along with probably 5,000 students. They were all there. They were messing up that school. They were messing up that hospital. They were going to find out what's up with me. And he sat at my hospital bed and made promises I told him I didn't want to hear. Because you broke those promises and I didn't want to talk about them. And the first day of school this past year, was it this year? During the events day, same gentleman walked up and tried to take a selfie with me. I couldn't take the selfie. So I said, I don't want to be fake. By the way, I got disciplined for that and I've been suspended. And I'm still paying for not taking a selfie with the person. Now, all that don't matter to me. And probably get in trouble for bringing that up or whatever, it doesn't matter. All I know is coaching jobs have opened up forever. The girls' coaching job has opened up again. 3 times I have not been allowed to even interview for it as a contract employee. Now, in the email said, well, I don't know how to get back to talk to these people and I don't know the situation. But the 3 people that basically the whole letter is written on were never even interviewed. I sent the letter of the young man, Josh Wills, Kyle Wilson, and James Taylor. I have them all on my phone if I want to call them right now, because they would all show up wherever I want them to. But for 4 years, I've been waiting for a correct answer. And this past year, I took that discipline for not taking the picture with the superintendent, just to, as an olive branch, to say, hey, Ms. Fenderson, we're good. Can we wait? She said, well, at the end of the year, we'll talk. I emailed her. I try to be patient because I have a compulsion issue. I might email a couple of times. Now, at the end of 4 years, and at the end of the year, by the way, 5, 6, 7 other jobs opened up. And I've been working with people, but I can't get a varsity job because you know what people say? Why don't you do it at Oak Park? You've been there forever. How come you can't coach Oak Park? I can't lie. Even my best friend, no problem. After 30 years, he said, you know, they're gonna vet everything. You have it's not like I can lie about and tell people I don't have something in my file. But as an Arabic Chaldean man, all my parents ever told me, your name is everything. 30 years. We're going to throw 25, 30 years of coaching, 9,450 kids. Because people say, I don't know where the paperwork is, and I don't know those people. And and Dr. Murphy, you said you're the kid from Joy Road. Well, I'm the kid from McNichols and 6 Mile, McNichols and John R. And I've been fighting hard. And I've been fighting with these kids. And if you can go through this district, anybody can say I didn't change their life and make them better, then I don't need to be here. And as a matter of fact, why am I teaching? Why am I allowed to teach the kids? I ain't even good enough to coach them after school. I couldn't even have a basketball club. I coached, by the way, this past year I did coach. Year before that, we had a 6th grade basketball team, 13 kids. So on my gym class, I went out and gathered 17 more. Tyler, no, by the way, that's my write-up. I keep too many kids. I gathered 17 more kids out the hallway that never played. Those 17 still played on the team, and this past year, 8 of them made the 7th grade team. That was the deal. That was an extra team. Extra 17 kids got to have fun. But I'm a bad person because I kept the extra person. I just don't understand this. I've given my life to this place. When I had the heart attack, it was 110 degrees in that gym. I was supposed to go somewhere else, and I came to the emotion of being moved from the middle school, from the high school to the middle school, out the blue, for somebody's friend.
Katula.
My
Mr.
time's
Katula.
up.
Yeah, I let you talk a long time. Yeah, you talk a long
But
time.
I had that heart attack
Yes.
for the emotion of being in that building
Understood.
after all I've been through.
Yes.
You're right. But it's wrong. And if it's, look, if I don't belong here, tell me to go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you my 146 days. I'm gonna leave as a teacher too. But you can ask Mario Evans, you can get Greg Carter, Adam Carter. I've spoken to anybody, including those 3 kids that supposedly, those kids never, nobody had. And the
Mr.
girls
Catula?
would be successful if I was coaching them.
Mr.
Every
Catula.
administrator's telling you that. I know.
Okay, so what we'll do, the superintendent will definitely probably follow up with this later, okay? So you should be hearing something from her office within the next couple of days, okay?
Thank you.
All right?
This is
All
what I
right,
don't
thank
wanna
you.
go.
We appreciate your passion.
Thank you,
You
Mr.
definitely have
Catula.
been here a long time. You definitely have coached a lot of kids as well
Okay,
as my
Tyler,
son.
we can't respond.
Thank you.
I
know.
All right. So we're going to move to item number 8, action items. 8A, adoption of new resolution and proposed amendments to the Oakland County School Boards Association OCSBA bylaws. Would anyone like to read that motion? I will. Let me find it first. One second.
I'll read it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not the right one.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I see it. Okay. Adoption of the new resolution.
Yes, ma'am.
Resolved that the board approve and adopt the Oakland County School Boards Association, OCSBA, proposed policy position regarding attorney-client privilege and proposed bylaws amendment number 2 as presented.
Does anyone second?
Second.
All right, motion made by trustee Rogers and seconded by trustee Tyler. Any discussion on the motion? All right, Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Madison,
Yes.
Carolyn Kent,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Webster.
Yes.
All right, that motion is passed. We will now move on to item number 8B, approval of Chartwell's management and administrative fee. Would anyone like to read that motion? Going once, going twice. Is it me? Okay, resolve that the board accepts the administration's recommendation to approve the 2026-2027 renewal agreement and sponsor acknowledgement with Chartwells, including a management fee increase from, what is that?
It's 10,000s.
0.0566 to 0.0582 per meal. An administrative fee increase from $8,343 to $8,592 per month for 10 months, allowing the district to continue food service operations for the 2026-2027 school year. Any second?
Second.
All right, motion made by myself and seconded by trustee Tyler. Any discussion on this motion?
So it's just an increase that we're paying them for our students' meals?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Oh, yep. All right, Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Tyler,
Yes.
Webster,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
and Madison.
Yes. That motion is approved. We will now move to item number 8C, approval of the contract with Lagarda Security Services for school security services.
They're coming back
That'd be on
before us.
hold.
That would be on
We
hold.
hold it. We have to, right?
I mean, the board, it will be whatever the board wills. We don't meet again until the 22nd. Can we make a resolution and say, given a $1 increase, we can approve? We can't do that. Here are the ramifications. We have to have a transition period between our current provider. They're done June 30th. Our next board meeting is not until June 22nd. Summer school starts June 22nd. It's a lot of moving parts all at one time, but if the board doesn't feel comfortable, we'll do what we have to do. But those are some of the factors on the table. We will get the updated fee schedule that will include $1 per hour addition. And we can bring it back to the board on the 22nd. It just will
But how would that work
So
if we
just get
need
the
them
ball
on the
rolling on this
22nd?
Well, they will. So our current security staffing will remain with DM Burr until June 30th.
Oh, you did say that.
They will still be here. We just need to make sure we have somebody
Coverage after that.
by
Gotcha.
June 30th, because DM Bird will not continue to support our district after June 30th.
So we
Yes.
amend it or something, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so we
I,
approve this
I
and then
truly
amend it.
understand.
I understand, but if we need to
We
come,
can,
we
we can
good
also
with
do it on the
whatever.
22nd.
Yeah. Just so we have
It's
coverage.
the will of the board,
Oh.
like she said. What do y'all want to do?
Say it again. Would you
It's the will of the board. If we want to approve it now without the updated information that we need, or you guys want to do this on June 22nd? Feel better, more comfortable doing it then when we have updated information. They can see if they can give them the dollar raise.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm willing to wait. I think we have people. Can we discuss? Are we in discuss mode?
Yes.
Yes. I think we have people that will in our district that would transition and be grateful that we made the decision to give them an increase. And I think even
Absolutely.
if we need they're in a tight spot, I believe they'll work with us. I do believe that.
All right.
I just don't
Now,
want. I don't want
do
to
not-
approve this
No, we
number.
read it and say no. Totally skip.
So, we are going to, let me get my words right. Table it. Yep.
Yes.
We're gonna table this
you.
motion for June 22nd. All right. We will now move on to item, one second. We will now move on to item number 8D, approval of the 2026-2027 certification of tax levy L 4029. Would anyone like to read that motion? Resolved that the Board of Education approve the 2026-2027 certification of tax levy Form L 4029 as presented and authorize its submission to the appropriate taxing authorities.
Second.
Motion made by myself, seconded by Trustee Tyler. Any discussion on this motion? All right, Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Tyler,
Yes.
Webster,
Yes.
Madison.
Yes.
And Rogers.
Yes.
All right, we will now move to item number, that motion is passed. Thank you. Item number 8E, resolution adopting board norms. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby adopts the board norms as presented to guide board conduct, communication, and governance, adopted this day, June 8th, 2026.
Second.
Motion made by myself, seconded by Trustee Tyler. Ms. Greer, any discussion on this motion? All right, Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Madison.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
And Webster.
Yes.
All right, that motion has been passed. We will now move to item number 9, call for closed session pursuant to Section 8C of the Michigan Open Meetings Act to discuss strategy and negotiation matters regarding the proposed school calendar as negotiated with the bargaining unit and related collective bargaining agreement matters. All right, we will now go into closed session. We'll see you guys in a minute.
It won't be long.
Yeah, it won't be. Unanimously voted to come back into open session. I move to amend the agenda to add the approval of the proposed 2026-2027 school calendar and school start and end times as action item 11A. I moved that the Oak Park Schools Board of Education approve the proposed 2026-2027 school calendar and school start and end times as presented by administration. Second.
Second.
Motion made by myself, seconded by trustee Tyler. Any discussion on this motion? Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Tyler,
Yes.
Webster,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
and Rogers.
Yes.
All right, that motion has been passed. We will now move to item number 12, information items. Item number 12A, 2025-2026 final amended budget reading.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for hanging out and waiting for so long for this. So today, the purpose is we're reviewing the final budget amendment for the current fiscal year 25-26. And we're also looking ahead to the original proposed budget for the next upcoming fiscal year of 26 and 27. As a framing context, the board members will recall from our previous March amendment meeting, we had provided an update noting that our fund balance was trending lower than what was originally assumed in the initial budget. The figures that we're going to be looking at today represent the culmination of those trends and our ongoing efforts to manage that variance. The figures that we used at that time were the most current figures that we had, and today is an update to those figures. Keep in mind that a major baseline shift occurred during this period. Specifically, we moved $3 million from Michigan Works to its own separate fund out of the general fund balance, which impacts what we're looking at year over year. So please just keep that in mind, that Michigan Works was moved out of the general fund into its own separate fund. So you'll see here that in our second budget amendment, we estimated our revenue to be $57,057,425,346. The final budget amendment is showing $57,536,181. We increased our revenue by approximately $110,000. However, our expenditures also increased, and we now have expenditures over revenue of approximately $1.5 million. Part of that was about $500,000 for the stipends that each of our teachers and paras and staff members received. It was paid to us by MVE as part of the 27L grant fund and was fully distributed to all of our staff members. So it didn't come from our funds, but we were originally anticipating paying that in 26-27, and we moved that payment forward to this fiscal year. So that's an extra $500,000 of revenue expenditures. And the remaining approximately $900,000 is again our trying to get the Balmer grant, the United Way grant, aligned. As you heard at the last meeting, we fully recognized the revenue of the Balmer grant last year, but we did not recognize any of the expenditures. So this year's expenditures were 2 years worth of expenditures, and we should not be seeing that again in the future. So our fund balance at the end of the year is going to be $4.3 million. This just goes into a little bit more about our revenue. That was just a general overview. We've got local revenue that increased. We've got state revenue that increased. We've got federal revenue that increased. Our intermediate sources decreased. And that was our PA 18, which is tax revenue, and that's a lot of that we believe is attributable to the federal government. We had estimated receiving more funds, and we are now receiving less by approximately $1.1 million. And here's an overview of our expenditures for this fiscal year. You'll see that our basic programs, the instructional costs increased by about 436,000. The special needs program, approximately 518,000. And then various other non-instructional costs by about 677,000. So the total expenditures offset by the increase in revenue brings us down to approximately that $1.5 million difference. So looking forward to 26, 27, we had some assumptions. Our per pupil funding is going to be increasing from $10,050 per student to $10,300 per student. Looking at year-over-year trends, we're anticipating 60 less students enrolled next year. That's a conservative estimate. We're looking at a 3% cost increase for our healthcare, which is again following what we see typically with healthcare. The employer matching for the Office of Retirement Services, we're looking at a 2% decrease. And then we're also looking at contractual negotiated increases during our bargaining. And what we're looking at here is that if we continue with our spending the way that it is, we're showing a fund balance that is at a deficit, which we cannot approve by law. So, as discussed with Superintendent Murphy, we are committed to balancing this budget. We have some strategic focus areas that we've identified. A staffing alignment, special education costs, purchasing, operations. Well, I'll go back to this. What we anticipate doing is collaboratively working to give you a better idea and a balanced budget by the June 22nd meeting. We're refining our operational reductions and alignment strategies. We will bring a much more accurate and deeply evaluated picture to the table by the June 22nd meeting to ensure that we protect the district's long-term financial health. I know that this is not the news that anybody likes to hear, but we want to make sure that we're open and we're transparent and we're giving everybody a clear picture of what we are facing going forward as a district. And now I'll open up the floor to any questions.
Okay, any questions?
Yes.
You have the floor, Trustee Tyler.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with saying my heart hurts right now because over 15 years ago, 12 years ago, we was once in debt, and a lady came in and got us out of debt and left us with some money in the bank before she left. And the two superintendents that have been here has put us in this position. So it hurts. It hurts real bad because I worked tirelessly hours and hours and had to give up a lot. So if you hear me fighting for security, because back then when they were in debt, security is the one that took the hit in the beginning. They were only making $11 and $12 an hour. And these guys were here every day. And so for me right now to hear this, my heart is trembling and my voice is trembling because we've been lied to so much. So first of all, I want to say thank you, Murphy, Shana Murphy, interim superintendent, no disrespect, I'm not saying it, for the transparency right now today. And I think this is what everybody has been asking for a while. Just the transparency to say we were we were here, but now we're here. And so what do we do to get to this point? So I do thank you for the plan that you do, that there is a plan to get us back to a healthy spot. But in that plan, we don't want to negate that safety and education is our number one focus. We can come from the top heavy that we've been for so long up here. About time we pay a salary of $110,000 salary for someone, we can pay at least for 5 security of that salary. I mean, you may not like me tonight, but it's okay. But I'm hurting right now. And then I hear you say that we're going to be 60 less students. I believe that probably it's going to be right because of what the news has portrayed. But I think that if we continue now with the way the board is going in these last couple months, being the transparency, working together, I think we're well on our way. Sometimes you have to go back in order to come forward again. And so it's going to take us a minute. And that's why we need a great superintendent to come in here. And now a superintendent is going to come into a deficit. That's not fair to them. That's not fair. It's not fair to the board that has been here. It's not fair to our students and not fair to our staff. Now, if we're in negotiation and we got to give them a raise because they have earned that. But we had a former superintendent that lied to us. It's just lied to us, y'all. Just lied. To where now we come in here today to say, oh, wow, we in debt? And we was never once in debt. When Dr. Cobra came here, we were $4 million in debt. Over $4 million. I know what the numbers were because I said in the first meeting. And she got us out of debt and we were healthy. And now within 6 years of her gone, we're now back in debt. I think we got a problem. Got a problem. And so to go back focused, I think I went on a rant. I thank you for your plan. I see a plan. So that's my thing. I was going to ask, okay, this is the plan that's in place to get us back to a healthy spot?
Yes, these are the major areas we'll be looking at because we can't pass an unbalanced budget. We can't pass a budget with a deficit.
No.
So there's some decisions we're going to have to make, and these are some of the major areas we've already pre-identified where we can probably, do some alignment, take off some things that are nice but not necessary, but while protecting the major 2 areas, which is safety and security, and educating our students. So we stated before we're committed to things that are furthest away from the classroom first, because we have to preserve the reason in which we come to work every day, which is providing high quality education to children. So these are some things that we're going to figure it out because we can't pass a budget that's negative.
Right. And then the other piece, I see the special education. I think that kind of like, do we have to, because that's some of our main, you see special. So can we maybe drop it down to the 4th one? I mean, just maybe if I look at it different, maybe because it's too close to because when you say special education, we can't, because we've been so out of compliance with our special ed department, I don't want to say special ed, specialized services department. How can we even put that in there?
Yeah, so great pickup. We would never sacrifice the needs of the children. So legally and ethically, right? We are beholden to make sure we meet the needs of all children. So one of the things we're thinking about, we have a lot of contracted services for SPED, probably because we don't have the staffing. But if we perhaps do a little bit more digging around recruiting and retaining staff that are hired in district, then we don't have to pay exorbitant costs for contracted staff. But we would never mitigate or remove any of the legally and ethically required services for our children. We're just looking at those areas that we can probably tighten up. I will say though, I did an interview on Friday with a writer who's writing about the power of early childhood education, but also special education. And just special education is 40% underfunded.
Right.
The needs of our children are going up this way. The money is going down this way. There have been no increases in special education funding but the needs of our children are increasing. So that's one of the reasons why we also shared the information about the Oakland County Enhancement Millage. I can't tell people how to vote, but these are some of the ways in which we can increase revenue because the needs are increasing. It's nothing I can do about that. Their needs have to be met. I can't skip and scam on any of those things, providing, speech and language services, providing a teacher, occupational therapy, all of these things, extended school year services. These are required both legally, but most importantly, ethically, because they are those are the most vulnerable among us. So we're not going to skimp and scam on any of those required services for children. We're looking at those areas, for example, we have to transport a lot of students. For example, McKinney-Vento, the homeless grant. The federal government did not give us any money this year to provide additional supports for homeless students, but we're still ethically required to support them. So, for example, one of our contracted services for transportation alone, thousands of dollars to transport students that are under McKinney-Vento. Along with, just some other things that the federal government took away the funding. So now we have to scramble and figure out where that money is going to come from for safety and security, and to educate our children. So those are the things we're committed to as we right size and find the ways to get our district back to the healthy place that it was.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, because I saw the special ed. So maybe can we bullet point it down to the bottom, please? That may help me. That may make me feel a little better because when you say specialized services, I'm like, well, we can't mess with them. We can't mess with. So thank you so much for the transparency of where we at, and maybe I see staff on there. Maybe we top heavy around the district here. I remember when one lady did it, but I know we're not there anymore. But we're so top heavy. Thought I'll say it again. I'm good, President.
Any more questions? No.
Currently.
No. Anybody? All right. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Appreciate it. Good job. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Is she also doing the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
She'll be here.
All right. So we will now move to item number 12B, 2026-2027 proposed budget.
She did it all together.
I'm
She
like, wait,
knocked
what?
it all out in one wham, okay?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, she did. It was good.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Farr.
That was great, Ms. Farr.
All right. We will now move to item number 13, communications. Any communications from administration?
Mama, we made it. Yes, it's the last week of school. So shout out to the staff of the Oak Park School District and to the parents of the Oak Park School District. Mama, we made it. We have just a couple more days left. It's been an unprecedented year, but as they have continued to show us, they continue to show up and show out for our children. It is a labor of love and all of the things, right, that we take care of the least of us. And so shout out to them. We're almost to the end. Parents, thank you.
Thank
We're
you.
almost to the end. With that being said, just a couple of communications. We have a whole week, and I'm sorry, board, I'll send y'all an updated email of promotion ceremonies. So tomorrow morning, Pepper Elementary, 9 a.m. at the high school.
Where's those returning?
No, okay. 9 a.m. Pepper Elementary at the high school. 12 p.m. tomorrow, Oak Park Preparatory Academy at the music hall. Okay, they paid for that. We didn't. Okay. Wednesday morning is Key Elementary at 9 a.m. at the high school. Thursday is Einstein Elementary, 9 a.m. at the high school. And Friday is the last day of school for the 25-26 school year. And then our summer program, Summer Discovery and Summer School for Credit Recovery for high school begins on Monday, June the 22nd. I do believe that those are all the church announcements for this great day. I forgot that's my other job when I'm not here. But those are all the announcements from administration. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Any communications from the Board of Education?
Yes. I had the
You go first.
opportunity to be a judge at Einstein talent show. So it was really interesting. It was really good to see all the parents out there. It was so many parents and students, and so just the community there. So it was a shout out to Coach Watson and the staff over there putting it on, as well as the principal. It was just great for me to go sit at the table
Aw.
and judge our little kids.
Too
It
cute.
was just the cutest.
Too cute.
That's it.
Was that it?
Yes, that's it.
All right. Anybody else? Trustee.
Sure. Shout out to all the graduates. This is the season we were, we had the pleasure, of course, of attending the Oak Park High School graduation, which was amazing. I haven't been to a high school graduation since
You graduated?
I graduated probably. And so just to see the excitement, see everyone, the community show up, all of the supports, family, friends, aunties, sisters, cousins, all the people, and the graduates be so excited and the program be so engaging. My 14-year-old was there because she wanted to see what a high school graduation was all about. And she said that she enjoyed the speakers, which is not something you would typically hear from a 14-year-old. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to all of the graduates and for that experience. And then also, of course, a shout out to Lessinger again, Dogs with Dads, amazing. My husband attended with my son. They had a wonderful time. Lessinger definitely outdid themselves as they often do for the parents. So thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate all the seniors. I had a senior that graduated this year. So I know all the hard work that all the parents had to put in, the teachers, we thank you. I understand the seniors do get senioritis. But I want to say about the Oak Park graduation, this is probably my third or fourth graduation I've attended. Not Oak Park, but just around the schools, DPS and all. It was very engaging. I can say my daughter's graduation, I fell asleep. And I did not know that at some graduations, they did not acknowledge the salutatorian or valedictorian, which they did not at her graduation. And I was very pleased to see that our top students were males, because you usually see females, and that was just awesome. So congratulations to all the seniors and moms and dads. We did it. We did it. So thank you.
You did it.
Yes, you did.
You did it. Some of us got a long way to go.
Not me. Darn.
All right. All right. I'll go next. Okay, so I also wanted to touch on us having the pleasure of going to the Oak Park High School class of 2026 graduation. Thank you to Andrea Philpotts and Dr. Renita Williams and the whole administration for the hospitality. It was fun. And all the things. I wanted to express my gratitude for allowing me to deliver the Board of Education address. Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you to Miss Fuji for the concert at Key that I was able to attend. It was so awesome as usual. We love Miss Fuji. Miss Brandy North was celebrated for her wonderful contributions to our staff during Teacher Appreciation Week. So that was her moment to be appreciated. It was that was great. Congratulations to Brandon Giles and the girls track team. And I also wanted to touch on, like you said, Lessinger Dogs with Dads. My daughter went with her granddad while her dad is away at work. So that was awesome. And again, we got 4 more days. What is today? Monday. I thought it was Tuesday. 4 more days of school. Unfortunately, the Key zoo trip was canceled for tomorrow. I'm sad, but whatever. I get to go Wednesday with Opa. So congratulations to all of the teachers, to all of the students, all of the staff, all of us for completing this year.
Okay.
Amen. Thank you guys. And that's all I got. So with that, we have reached the item number 14, which is adjournment. Can you tell us when the next board meeting is, please?
The next Board of Education meeting will be held on Monday, June the 22nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the boardroom at the administration building.
And the time is now 8:42, and this meeting is adjourned.